The U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. Madam Ambassador, always good to see you. Thank you. The Arab League says this move has, quote, isolated the U.S. from the peace process. Your administration, of course, has made peace in the Middle East one of its top priorities. How does this move help that? How does it help the peace process in any way?
Well, let's first of all talk about what this does. This basically says that the United States acknowledges that the capital of Israel is Jerusalem, and saying also that the embassy is going to be moved to the capital, just like it is in almost every other country. In Israel, in Jerusalem, you've got the parliament, you've got the president, you've got the prime minister, you've got the Supreme Court. So why shouldn't we have the embassy there? Secondly, I will tell you that for 22 years, you have had presidents and the American people ask for the embassy to be moved. And no president, not Clinton, not Bush, not Obama, actually had the courage to make that move and listen to the will of the American people. The Senate just overwhelmingly again voted to have the embassy moved. So the president did the will of the people. When it comes to those that are upset, we knew that was going to happen, but courage does cause that. When you make a decision, you're going to have some that see it negatively and you're going to have some that see it positively. But I strongly believe this is going to move the ball forward for the peace process. How is it going to move the ball forward for the peace process? One of the things that's been pointed out, first of all, let me just say that I'm sure Presidents Bush, Clinton, and Obama would dispute the idea that that they didn't do it because of courage. But putting that aside, President Trump is supposed to be a master negotiator. Isn't this just cashing in a chit and getting nothing for it? How does this move the peace process forward in any way? Not at all. And I will tell you, all the presidents wanted to do it, and everyone around them kept saying, don't do it, don't do it. This president said for 22 years, that waiting didn't help us. Now let's try and move the ball. What I will tell you is, you have to look at the situation that he just took Jerusalem off the table. He just took it off the table. So now they get to come together. They get to decide what the borders will look like. They get to decide the boundaries, and they get to talk about how they want to see Jerusalem going forward. All we did was say, this is not something that we're going to allow to happen in the middle of your negotiations. You come together and you decide what you want from the Israelis and the Palestinians for the peace process to look like. And that's what we're going to continue to do. And in terms of the Arab League, yes, they have said that, but we have a whole lot more in common with the Arab League than we've ever had before. And mainly that's because of our fight against Iran. And so, while this is one issue they disagree with, there's a whole lot of other issues that we're working very closely with them on. I want you to take a listen to something that Dr. Saeb Erekat, the PLO Secretary General, said after President Trump's decision.
I think tonight he is strengthening the forces of extremists in this region as no one has done before. This is an act, a statement that's totally uncalled for, totally unacceptable. He's in total violation of international law, human rights, and he's turning the conflict between Palestinians and Israelis from a political one into a religious one. That's a very dangerous situation.
Do you have no concerns that this decision is going to weaken the moderate voices in the Arab world and strengthen the zealots? No, because I have no concern, because what they mostly care about and what's their priority right now is Iran. And we are in lockstep with them. And we have done a great job of talking about how we're going to fight extremists. Jake, when the president made this comment on Wednesday, everybody said the sky was going to fall. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the sky's still up there. It hasn't fallen. It is maybe human nature for some to say this is terrible, but what if this actually moved the ball forward? How? And that's what the American people... Madam Secretary, you keep saying that, and I still don't see how it moves the ball forward. In terms of the peace process, all the president has done, is remove something from the table that could have been used to either force the Israelis to concede something or force the Palestinians to concede something.
Because we've had conversations with both the Palestinians and the Israelis. We've had great negotiations in that respect, and we're going to continue doing that. And, for those who want to say this is a bad idea, I'll tell you, ask us 5 and 10 years from now if you still think it's a bad idea, because I really do think that this is going to move the ball in the peace process. And